Oppenheimer. So this is a movie that everyone has been looking forward to. I have been looking forward to it. Normally, Christopher Nolan, whatever he does, I'm always looking forward to it. So this was actually a really good movie, really well done. Like the way it was shot and everything, like the black and white, the colors, and the non-use of CGI. I mean, there was no part of this movie that actually required CGI, so I would say that. So I guess like it makes sense to not have any CGI shot. But I feel like there's probably some directors who would actually, if they shot this movie, I'm pretty sure they would have done this with some kind of CGI. But yeah, again, there was nothing in this movie that actually required any type of CGI or anything. So yeah. Anyways, great movie, but this. I feel like this movie is not for everybody. I can see people not liking this movie. They might feel this movie is boring. I do get the vibes if I was like among the general audience who this movie is not for. I might feel this movie is boring. Like if you're, a fan of Nolan's style of filmmaking, then yeah, you would like this movie. If you're just into movies about historical figures and physics and science kind of engineering kind of thing, then yeah, you would be into a movie like this. If you're just the you know most people, like, I don't know what to call them, like general audiences, I guess. Like I can see people complaining about this movie where they're just gonna be like, oh, there was just too much talking. Like I do know people like that though. So if you're that kind of people, then this movie is not for you. But I'm not really gonna attack these people though. Like I already know some people are gonna get attacked because they didn't like this movie, especially because this movie was already been overrated enough before the movie came out to be like a masterpiece. That's just how it is nowadays, right? If a movie is like extremely hyped up before it came out, you have to accept it as good after it came out, and if you don't, then you're gonna get attacked. So, same way, it's the same thing the other way. If it's already like been hyped to fail and be terrible, and then after it comes out, you have to say it's terrible. If you say it's good, then you're gonna get attacked. So I don't know why it's like that nowadays. So, but that's just the way it is. So I've seen tons of people who didn't like this movie kind of get attacked online, so I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna be like, yeah, this movie is not for you, it's not your taste. So this movie was good, like I said, but honestly I would admit there was some stuff in this movie I feel like could have been removed, which would not really hurt the movie in any way. It would have still gone the way it could have been. It should have gone like this movie could have easily been 2 hours. I feel like a lot of stuff could have been like removed from this movie, which again would not hurt this movie in any way. Uh, so this movie was R rated for the reason that I did not think it was supposed to be R rated. So it was R rated for two nude scenes and a sex scene. So which I thought was not really important to the movie itself. Like, I know it's part of his story, but Oppenheimer's story. But I think for the movie, it would not hurt for it to be removed from the movie. So like Florence Pugh was like that was a whole character in the movie. Like she barely had like what 10 minutes in the movie. That's her whole arc in the movie was just Oppenheimer's fuck buddy in the movie. Just have a couple of nude scenes. That's it. That's all it took for this movie to go to a rated R, because I thought she was gonna have like a larger role in the movie, because I'm pretty sure her name is on the poster, and then she was all over the premiere and stuff. I'm like, all right, she's gonna have a big role, but no, just 10 minutes, which literally could have been removed from the movie. It would not have hurt the movie at all. So because look, when they said this movie was R rated, I expected some horrifying shit. I expected them to literally show the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and then, like, I don't know, showing the people, I don't know, getting burns and stuff. That's what I expected. Because especially when people were like, this movie is gonna feel like a horror movie, that's what I thought. That they're gonna show like the effects of it getting hit in Japan, not for it to be rated R for some two nude scenes and like which did not affect the story the movie whatsoever. So I think they could have done more with the R rated, like literally show the Japan stuff and everything. But yeah, it being R rated just for that was kind of dumb. So they could have shown more, and then even the blasting of the bomb, they only showed one bombing, which was the testing before the day was they were gonna launch and stuff. Well, not the day we were gonna launch, but yeah, you know what I mean. So uh So like they could have shown more like them literally, the bomb falling on Japan and everything. I think that could have made the movie feel like a horror movie. I mean, yeah, just watching this whole movie felt like a bad idea. I'm like, shit, bro, why are y'all doing this? But I mean, this already happened, so there's no stopping it. Like, it's not like those robot movies or AI movies that we see, that we watch nowadays. That we're like, oh, please don't do this, because there's still time for that, for AI and robot going rogue and killing everybody. But this kind of stuff already happened. So this movie just kind of felt like a bad idea in general, just them creating bombs. And like, um I just liked how, as long as they had use for Oppenheimer, like, they everyone, like, they were just doing whatever he wanted, giving him every resources that he needed. But once like the bomb has been done, they have it, like you can see like they didn't really care about him no more. Whenever he was like calling about the bombings in Japan, they didn't really care to respond to him. Like, I guess that's what people are. People, people are like when they need something from you, they're gonna give you everything, and once they have it already and they can probably make more of it, they're just not gonna care anymore about you because they already have it. Whatever you try to do, they're not gonna care. So I like that whole part where they did about that whole thing. So that was actually pretty good. And I would say the whole courtroom thing was also unnecessary for the movie. I understand that it happened in real life. I understand that, like that's part of his story, but I'm talking as a movie. Like that whole thing was only in the movie because what Louis Strauss, Robert Downey Jr.'s character, felt embarrassed because Oppenheimer kind of joked about him and made him kind of feel embarrassed. So that whole courtroom thing, because I don't really know a lot about Oppenheimer and stuff, like that history and everything. So to see the whole courtroom scene, everything happen is because Louis Strauss was kind of felt embarrassed because of what Oppenheimer said. So, which I'm like, all those scenes could have been, removed too. So this movie could have easily been 2 hours. I'm talking about, the movie itself, not like. I'm not like, I mean, maybe in real life it mattered a lot, but I'm talking about the movie to please the general, like all the audiences. I feel like it could have been cut. But I would say that Robert Downey Jr.'s acting in this movie was amazing. I feel like he could, like, this is one of his like best acting kind of in a way. I mean, other than Iron Man, I would say his acting in this one was actually pretty good. But it's just that that whole courtroom scene ended up being it's because he felt embarrassed because of what he said, just kind of felt pretty childish, like that whole scene, like scattered throughout the movie was all because of him feeling embarrassed. Just kind of feel like, really, that's it, like and even him thinking that what they were talking about, what Oppenheimer and Einstein was talking about was about him, and then like, I don't know, but that just kind of felt felt a bit childish in a way. Like, I would have liked if they showed like what happened after the bombing and how Oppenheimer was treated after the bombing, and everything, and then they could have showed some Japan stuff, and then they went straight to the ending scene, which himself and Einstein talked to end the movie. That would have been great. So I feel like the whole courtroom thing, which ended up only happening because of like Louis Strauss was embarrassed at what Oppenheimer said, and all the whole freaking sex scene that made this movie R-rated for no reason could have been removed for the movie itself. Like, I know people are gonna be like, that's part of the story. I know it's part of the story, but I'm talking for the movie itself. It was not necessary for the movie itself. You know what I mean? Like, they could have just done about him, like like they showed him in college and university and stuff. They could have showed all of that, his life, and then him building the bomb, and then the aftermath of building the bomb and everything like that. That whole thing was amazing. But just apart from the unnecessary sex scene and the courtroom scene after the revelation of why it was all going on, I was like, yeah, that was not necessary to the movie itself. I know a lot might disagree, and y'all are. I know a lot of people are already like, man, this movie is a masterpiece. Shut up. So like I said, like this movie was already hyped up to be a masterpiece. So anybody who says otherwise is going to be attacked. So I don't care though. But just I'm just gonna like someone has to say it, right? So I don't think this movie sucked. I just felt like some scenes was unnecessary and could have been removed. But either way, the scenes they I know they did it anyway, but still, the acting and all of those scenes were just really good from Robert Downey Jr. and stuff. So still, this was a really good movie. This is a really high up for 2023 movies. I'm gonna rank it. So, but yeah, that is all for my review for Oppenheimer. Agree, disagree, comment down below, like, dislike this video. Yeah, go ahead, I don't care. So, anyways, that is all for my review. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews like this. So, until then, take care. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.